What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Awesome Show. Today we're looking at some awesome G.I. Joe Classified Series figures of the Amazon exclusive Heavy Artillery Roadblock and the Snake Eyes Alpha Commando with Timber Pack. So these are both very cool. So they're just kind of random figures that we kind of threw here together. We've had this Roadblock for quite a while and we didn't know exactly where to throw him in. So we thought, oh, maybe he'd go perfect with this Snake Eyes that was also coming out. But unfortunately, this Snake Eyes took forever to get to us, and wherever we pre-ordered it from still hasn't got it. So we ended up going somewhere else. And we finally got this in, so now we finally have this pack. So we've been holding on the Roadblock for months now, trying to wait for this Snake Eyes. I think both look very cool. They're both based off like their almost original action figures, so that's pretty cool, but updated of course with the Classified series, so that is awesome. And then getting Timber with Snake Eyes is incredible as well. So both of these look awesome and I'm excited to check them out. So let me go and get them out of the box and we'll check them out together. So let's start off with the Heavy Artillery Roadblock, and as I mentioned, this is based off the very first Roadblock figure back from 1984, and I will try to put a picture up just so you can see the comparisons. But overall, this looks pretty cool, you know, very similar to the Roadblocks we've already had. So I like his face design stuff, so they did change it up, so I will show all the different Roadblocks we've had before. But I like the face design where he just has like the little bit of mustache compared to the all beard that he's had before. He doesn't have much clothes on at all. He just has this tank top on that's like a camo tank top that looks pretty cool. I like the texture design into it and stuff, but you can see the camera design there with some straps on over the top, so holding some like grenades and pockets and everything there. Then he's just got some brown pants and the similar designs that we've had with all the other figures, so just painted brown this time. And then he's got a thigh holster there, and then he goes down to the boots with the same boots we've had, but I like how they're like a painted sort of army green color there over the black boots. So overall he looks pretty nice. So they just changed a little bit about this figure to make it look more like that original one, with mostly the face design and the paint colors. So for the figure overall, the head can twist all the way around. It can look down that far and up that far, so really good movements in the neck there. Shoulders can come up 90 degrees with a little bit of a butterfly joint in there and rotate all the way around. We get the bicep twist, a double elbow joint that bends up that far, and the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. We get the ab crunch in the middle there, so he can crunch forward, crunch back. It's hard with some of the straps, but he can crunch in there and twist around at the waist as well. The hips can come up 90 degrees out to the side of the far. He can do the splits. And with the G.I. Joes, again, they have the drop down hips, so they kind of drop down. You just have to kind of push them back up. This one does it a little bit more, so you can hear that click up in there, so it pops back up into place. A thigh twist that twists all the way around. A double knee joint that bends up that far in the back. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So it's just pretty much like all your other Roadblocks. Very little difference between them. I know a couple of the others had vest on, so you couldn't get like that ab crunches, but otherwise it's going to be exactly the same. And for accessories, we get a helmet. So we have this cool army like style helmet there with a bunch of cool designs, nice textures and everything. So that's awesome that we can just slide this right on his head. And again, fitting with that classic Roadblock style. We get a pistol in this all like army green color that looks pretty nice. It's a nice looking pistol, does look real and everything, so not as futuristic. And with this, we can put it into the holster on his thigh. So a little bit stiff, but it just slides right down in there. And with it being Heavy Artillery Roadblock, we have to have heavy artillery. So we have this like Gatling machine gun, which looks pretty awesome. And again, in that all army green sort of color. So again, a nice realistic looking gun. So it's this big gun with a rotating barrel that's pretty cool. Has the handle stuff, so the trigger and the handle grip there. And it also has a removable ammo canister there as well that just slides into the bottom. So that is pretty cool. So let's try and get this into his hands. So there's Roadblock with the Gatling gun, and that looks really cool. It's hard to get it to like to hold it to straight up. Maybe we have to kind of lean him there, but that looks pretty dang cool there for this version of Roadblock. I think that's awesome. But we can bring in some of the older versions. So here is the original version of the Roadblock from the Classified series, and then we have the redeco version as well, ending off with the Cobra Island version of him there. So we have 4 different versions of Roadblock. Of course, the 2 on the either side of him are pretty much exactly the same, just a different color. But then we have the Cobra Island, which does look a little different there. But again, all of them have those futuristic guns, where this one has the classic version. So that is pretty awesome overall for the Heavy Artillery Roadblock. And then we have the Alpha Commando Snake Eyes, which again is based off his version 1 design, so the very first Snake Eyes figure where he was just the commando. So he doesn't have nearly as much like ninja sort of stuff built into him, but he does look pretty awesome here. So he's in like this all bodysuit as normal for Snake Eyes, but you can see it's got like this line design just as like a whole bodysuit and stuff covered from head to toe. He has like the head mask with the goggles on the eyes instead of the visor. Again, very reminiscent of that classic Snake Eyes. Has the armor padding over top with the vest. I like how it even has the Joe logo there on the grenade made. And he's just in all black from head to toe, and again, very reminiscent of the others. Now, the one thing that's different is he has actual boots on this time and doesn't have the shoes with like the toe design into it. But overall, it looks pretty cool. I do like this design for Snake Eyes. So for movements, the head can twist all the way around. You can look down that far and up that far. Not as much movement in the neck. Unfortunately, it's a little stiff in there too. Shoulders can come up 90 with the butterfly joint and rotation all the way around. We have the bicep twist, a double elbow joint that bends up that far, and the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. It's going to be hard with his vest, but he does have some ab crunch up in there, so he can just crunch back and forth just a little bit. Barely anything because of the vest, but he can twist around at the waist as well. Hips up 90 degrees, out to the side a little bit there. Again, with his thigh holsters, they're kind of clashing and stuff. They can't get in the way, but out that far, thigh twist around in there. A double knee joint that bends up that far in the back, shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. So once again, you're pretty standard G.I. Joe, especially for Snake Eyes. Now this one comes with a lot of weapon accessories, as a lot of Snake Eyes do. So first off, we get a knife. So we have this knife design. It's kind of big and oversized, like it feels a little bit too weird for this sort of figure, but it's just a knife they threw in here with a black handle and a really dark silver blades, but it looks pretty cool. But we can stick it in the sheath here on his left leg, so it just slides right down in there. We also get a little handgun here. So again, with these, they look more realistic. Like this one doesn't look fully realistic, but it's not as futuristic as the past weapons have been. But nice little handgun there that we can stick into the holster on his right thigh, so it just sits right down in there. And then we get an Uzi with a silencer that comes with it. So this is very reminiscent of that classic Snake Eyes. So little Uzi gun there, all in black, with a silencer that can come off, so we can put the Uzi in his hand. But the silencer does also have a place here on his thigh holster that you can stick the silencer, so it just sits right in there. But let's go and just put the Uzi in his hand. So there we got the Uzi in his hand, and again, that's very reminiscent of that classic Snake Eyes, so it's cool that they included that. But they also included 2 additional rifles, so again, more realistic looking, but still not fully realistic, at least to me, especially this back one here. Looks a little bit futuristic, but of course I don't know too much about guns. But these 2 rifles as well that are cool that they include, so you can use these for other characters if you want. But the one thing that annoys me is that all the other Snake Eyes come with the backpacks and everything to store all the weapons, and he doesn't have one, so we don't have anywhere to stick these extra weapons. So we could put one in his other hand at least, but I think he just looks pretty cool there with just the Uzi itself. But of course, with Snake Eyes, we have all the other versions to include. So here is, I believe, our very first version of Snake Eyes. Again, I can't remember all these, but we have that version, and then we have like the regular release Snake Eyes, and again, I don't remember if this is the regular one or if it was this one, because they're the ones that are exactly the same. Just one was the redeco version, so those 2 are pretty much exactly the same. And then we also have the movie version we've done recently to throw in here as well, so those all look pretty cool there for Snake Eyes. But again, as I said, this new one is definitely the like most original version of Snake Eyes, so it's cool that they did make him as well. And along with Snake Eyes, we also got Timber, so the wolf. So Timber is a wolf that befriends Snake Eyes and kind of becomes like his pet. So Timber looks pretty cool here. It looks just like your pretty standard wolf, but it's the first animal we've gotten with the G.I. Joes, and we know there's more coming, like the alligator and stuff like that. But looks very nice overall. If you can even see, he's got like a little scar there design above his eye. But otherwise, he just looks like your normal wolf with a bunch of joints and everything. So like we have the head that can twist around in there. You can look up a little bit and look down a little bit. So pretty good movements overall just there in the head. We have like a little neck joint back in here further that's supposed to move, but maybe with the fur don't really get too much. It just kind of moves up and down a little bit there, and it's a little bit stiff and stuck. So again, I think maybe some of the fur's in the way, and it has a tiny twist in there as well. We then have like the shoulder joints, so shoulders can move back and forth, and they move in and out, so they have a little bit of movement in there. Then we have like a knee joint that just bends up a little bit with rotation, another shoulder joint that can bend up there. So again, a lot of these joints are kind of stiff and don't really move too well. And then we have like the wrist joint would be for this, so it can twist around in there and move up and down as well. And going back, we then have like an ab crunch, so we have this part that can crunch back and forth and twist a little side to side, so we can have them kind of curve there if you want it, and twist a little there as well. And then we have back legs very similar to the front ones, so they can move back and forth, in and out. Then we have the knee joint here that I think this one may not move too well. They're real stiff on this, but this one bends a little bit better, so it can bend back and forth there. Then we have this joint as well that can bend forward there for that one, so bend really weird. And then the same sort of foot design that can move back and forth and twist side to side, ending it off with the tail that can lift up and down and twist around. So with all the joints on the wolf, it is hard to get him to stand up, like to get him to look, you know, relatively natural with his paws and everything. So I don't like that much about it. I wish it was a little bit more stationary or had more limited movements, like I said, just so you could get it to look more natural. But it is hard to fight around with this wolf, you know, try and get in positions and stuff. But overall, the wolf is pretty cool, and he also comes with an additional head with like an evil angry head with the teeth shown and stuff, so that's cool. So if you have calm version or evil version, so both both are very cool there for the wolf. So that's going to be it for our G.I. Joe Classified Series figures of the Amazon exclusive Heavy Artillery Roadblock and the Alpha Commando Snake Eyes with Timber. So both of these were pretty cool. It's awesome to get figures and their classic G.I. Joe style designs. These will be great to fit in the shelf, and hopefully they continue to do this more with some of the other characters. And then getting Timber thrown in here with that Snake Eyes is pretty cool as well. But let me know what you thought of these figures down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.